A paralyzed black woman had been watching her husband slip into the garage every night. Eventually, curiosity and unease got the better of her, and she decided to follow him. What she uncovered brought her to tears. Monica Thompson had always seen her husband, Darnell, as a man wrapped in mystery. But it was that very mystery that drew her to him in the first place. They had been inseparable since childhood, growing up in the heart of Detroit. From long walks by the river to deep conversations under glowing city lights, they built a connection that felt unbreakable. They promised each other a lifetime filled with love, laughter, and adventure. But fate had other plans. One rainy afternoon, as they drove home from a family picnic with their 2 young children, a speeding car suddenly collided with them. Darnell reacted swiftly, protecting the children and lessening the impact on himself. But Monica wasn't as lucky. She was pinned, her spine crushed, her life changed in a split second. The future they had dreamed of shattered in an instant. The doctors were blunt. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Thompson, but it's highly unlikely you'll walk again." Monica remembered the moment in vivid detail, the hospital's sterile smell fading into a deafening silence. Though she could barely register the doctor's words, the anguish on Darnell's face said everything. That night, they cried together, holding each other like they were clinging to the last piece of solid ground. "I'm here, baby," Darnell whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I'm not going anywhere." And he stayed true to his word. Every day, he was by her side, helping her adapt to a new way of life. Still, Monica's world felt cold and dim. She couldn't go on their hikes anymore, or embark on spontaneous adventures. The simple act of walking was now a memory. Trapped within the walls of their home, she felt suffocated. Darnell tried everything to lift her spirits, cooking her favorite meals, organizing small outings, reminding her daily how deeply he loved her. But inside, Monica was silently struggling. She missed feeling alive. Months went by, and they settled into a new rhythm. The children adjusted. Darnell continued to care for the family, and Monica tried to accept her reality. But then something shifted. Each night, after putting the kids to bed, Darnell would quietly slip into the garage. Through the closed door, she would hear faint clinks of metal, the hum of tools, and sometimes even soft murmurs. At first, she dismissed it. Darnell had always enjoyed working on small projects. He was naturally handy. But as the weeks passed, her curiosity grew. Whenever she asked him what he was doing, he'd flash that same enigmatic smile she fell for all those years ago, kiss her forehead gently, and say, "It's a surprise. Trust me. You'll see." But the secrecy began to weigh on her. Monica couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Was he hiding something from her, or hiding from her? The questions invaded her mind, robbing her of sleep. Each night she lay awake, haunted by the unknown. One night, she couldn't take it anymore. She waited until Darnell had been in the garage for a while, giving him enough time to become absorbed in his task. Her heart pounding, she silently wheeled herself toward the door. Her palms were sweaty, her mind racing with fear, curiosity, and a fragile hope. Maybe she'd finally find the answer to the aching loneliness she couldn't express. She pushed the door open just enough to peek inside, and what she saw took her breath away. Under the dim garage lights, surrounded by scattered tools, metal parts, and blueprints pinned to the walls, was a custom-built, all-terrain wheelchair. But it was so much more than that. It looked powerful, with thick wheels built to conquer any landscape. The frame was reinforced, and the controls were unfamiliar, clearly designed with care and intention. This wasn't just a machine. It was a labor of love. Darnell was hunched over the frame, making adjustments. His face was focused, his hands worn and scarred, his clothes smeared with grease. Dark circles under his eyes hinted at many sleepless nights. Monica could see how much this had cost him, but also how deeply he believed in it. He looked like a man with purpose. A sob escaped her before she could stop it. Darnell looked up, startled. For a moment, guilt flickered in his eyes, but it quickly faded into a soft, familiar smile, the one that had always made her heart flutter. "Monica," Darnell began, his voice thick with emotion, "I wanted to surprise you." She wheeled herself closer, eyes fixed on the machine before her. Tears streamed down her face, not from sorrow, but from disbelief, gratitude, and overwhelming love. "Darnell, what is this? How did you even—" she whispered. He knelt beside her, taking her hand in his rough, work-worn fingers. "You've been through so much, Monica. I see it every day. The pain you try to hide, the freedom you miss. I wanted to give that back to you." Her voice quivered. "You did this for me?" "Always for you," he replied softly, his gaze full of devotion. "I couldn't bear to watch you lose the things that once made you feel alive. I wanted you to hike again, to feel the earth beneath you, the wind on your face. I wanted you to feel free." And in that moment, for the first time in a long while, Monica felt something stir deep within her. Hope. With reverence, she reached out to touch the all-terrain wheelchair. It was more than a machine. It was a symbol of Darnell's love, of his tireless dedication and promise to walk this journey beside her, no matter what. Over the next few hours, he showed her every detail, how it worked, how he had researched endlessly, saved money quietly, and poured his soul into every bolt and weld. Each part was crafted with her in mind. By the time he finished explaining, Monica was overwhelmed. Her heart brimmed with emotions she could hardly describe. When she finally used the wheelchair for the first time, Darnell and the kids took her to a nearby nature trail. The children were buzzing with excitement, their laughter echoing through the trees as Monica navigated over roots and rocks with ease. For the first time since the accident, she felt a spark of thrill, a rush of freedom she thought she had lost forever. The wind brushed through her hair, the sun warmed her skin, and the uneven path beneath her wheels felt like magic. Darnell watched her with quiet pride, his eyes shining as he guided and supported her along every twist and turn. Together, they conquered the trail. The pain and darkness of the past few months began to fade, replaced by joy and renewal. At the trail's peak, they reached a scenic overlook. Monica gazed out at the horizon, a view she never thought she'd see again from that perspective. She turned to Darnell, her eyes filled with tears. "Thank you," she whispered. He wrapped her in a gentle embrace and whispered back, "I'll always find a way to bring you joy, Monica. Always." But their story didn't end there. Inspired by the freedom Monica felt in that moment, Darnell realized that others, too, were longing to feel alive again. People who had lost parts of themselves, whose lives had been reshaped by fate. As a former mechanic and proud veteran, he decided to use his skills for something greater. He began crafting custom all-terrain wheelchairs for other veterans who had been injured in service, and for members of their local community living with paralysis and mobility challenges. Word of his work spread quickly. People began reaching out, offering support and donations to help expand his mission. Darnell poured his heart into every build, knowing that each one represented a chance to restore someone's independence, to help them reclaim a piece of life they thought was gone. With Monica by his side, they launched a nonprofit organization, using community support to build and distribute these one-of-a-kind mobility devices to those in need. It became a true family project. Their kids pitched in, painting, assembling, and delivering joy with every wheelchair they helped complete. Each time they handed over a new all-terrain chair, Monica saw the same light in the recipient's eyes that she had felt that first day on the trail: hope, wonder, and the belief that life still held beauty and adventure, even after heartache. Through this shared journey, Monica and Darnell found healing. They transformed their pain into purpose, their challenges into strength, and their love into something deeper than ever before. Together, they showed the world that while life may be unpredictable, love, determination, and compassion can conquer even the most difficult obstacles. And every night, as they lay together, Monica would reach for Darnell's hand, a quiet reminder of the promise he had kept, that no matter what life brought, he would always find a way to bring her joy.